Hi, my name's Dan, I'm head of production at Brightwave, and today I'd like to talk to you about the future that's happening and changing all around us. Ideas that were laughed at only a few years ago are actually happening right now. Take Elon Musk for example. SpaceX have developed a spaceship that's capable of launching into space, deploying satellites, then returning to Earth to land on what's nothing more than a 5 metre by 5 metre raft in the middle of the ocean. In a massive oversimplification, I think that it's changing in two areas. Practically, things like solar, electric cars, which lead to a more sustainable future, and philosophically, things like AI and automation, which could lead to loss of jobs and less human interaction. But what I'm really interested in about is how you can combine these both together for a positive outcome. So cue holograms. What's immediately springing into your mind when I said that? Is it Red Dwarf? Is it Star Trek? Is it Star Wars? Or it might even be those shiny stickers that you got in the 80s. I think it's fair to say that holograms is seen as old technology, but that honestly couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, Alex Yakubov, the CEO and founder of Hologroup, believes, and I'm going to read this, the advanced holographic technology they're working on has the potential to shift the entire paradigm of education, offering a truly visual and interactive learning experience to students all over the world. Recently, French politician Jean-Luc Melenchon appeared in 7 different places at once via a hologram. But why did he do it? Because it tied in really nicely to his campaign that promotes the use of innovative technology, but also because it addressed the geographical and time challenges that election campaigns have. But what I think is the most interesting thing is how engaged the audience were. It was as though he was literally in the room. There are other people doing this too. If you take Tony Robbins, for example, he not only has massive hands, he has a massive global support and a massive carbon footprint from all the traveling that he's done over the years. Cue holograms. Hologram is just a fancy way of saying a human hologram. But again, from Tony's sessions, it's really interesting how well the audience are engaged with what he's saying. Again, I'm going to quote, "It was as if he was actually here. It was no different to the actual person being on stage. I loved it. I couldn't even believe it. It was awesome. It was like he was here." Another organisation using holograms is the Chopra Center. They're an organisation who deliver teacher trainings, education, all around health and well-being. And again, the audience received this amazingly well. I'm going to read some quotes from that session. "Realistic, seems like the person is in the room, didn't know that it was an electronic thing. It's not like FaceTime or Skype, it's like you're there with the person." It seems that even though we know the hologram isn't real or there, it's invoking all of the same human interactions and emotions as if they were actually in the room. That sounds really familiar to virtual reality, doesn't it? And this reality at a distance is what technology is really striving towards, and perhaps holograms have the potential to leapfrog VR in the mass market take-up. But let's take this into a learning world. In Singapore in 2015, Nobel Prize winner Professor Edwin Wieman delivered what is believed to be the first university lecture via a hologram, whilst he was actually physically located 14,000 kilometers away at Stanford University. His talk was on how technology can enhance learning, because he says, "Too often, technology is used for its own sake rather than thinking about how it can enhance learning." He's right, of course. We're often invested in technology that has little benefit to learning, but perhaps holograms have the potential to complement humans in the way that we learn. ARHT Media, the people behind Tony Robbins' hologram, have definitely seen the sales opportunity within this. They say, "We have completely removed time and geography from the equation. If you're one of the best in the world, we are now capable of packaging you up and delivering you to the rest of the world in real time as a fully formed human hologram." But the one problem that holograms have is that they can't interact with the audience. I guess they could set up a camera to take Q&A from the audience, but then this would immediately limit the hologram to being in one other place at one time. But what happens if you bring AI into the equation? It's not completely inconceivable to think that a hologram and a series of answers to commonly asked questions could be pre-recorded into the hologram's technology, which would give you a personalized performance that's accessible at any time. Another of Elon Musk's projects is to deliver internet to the world by putting over 4,000 satellites up into space, which would give super fast internet to the most remote places on Earth. So let's join all of these dots together. Super fast internet, holograms, lectures, solar power, and you potentially have an educational system that's accessible at anywhere in the world, at any time in the world. It's literally the beginning of the beginning for holograms, but hopefully by now you're moving away from your Red Dwarfs and your Star Treks into something a little bit more plausible and beneficial for the human race. But what could this look like as we bring it closer to the L&D world? I don't know the answer to that, of course, but if I had to speculate, we know that e-learning can't replace all of face-to-face training. But with these advances in technology, we're potentially opening the door to something that's consistent, scalable, environmentally friendly, low cost eventually, genuinely effective global learning. Don't get me wrong, I know this seems like an out there idea, but for me, I really think it's going to happen. And sometimes it's too easy to sit back and let the future happen all around you without actually being involved. But here at Brightwave, we're interested in being involved, in actually helping to shape that future. And it'd be great to hear from you in the comment section or on Twitter what you think about holograms or homograms in the learning world and whether they have a place. So that's it from me. I'm Dan from Brightwave. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.